death is an illusion. The body may be gone, but the life, the energy is still there. I absolutely know that. In that year that my son transitioned, my mother and my sister also transitioned within a year. I know they're still with me. I know they're with me. I know they're right here. Just think about them and they're right here. They're right here. Just as real as if they were sitting on the couch next to me.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Peace People. I am gathered together with Dawn E. Smith. And when it comes to Dawn, I just want to share she's a rather quiet person who likes to be there and just be there. And when she starts saying something, and that was my experience with her in the very first encounter we had, then it is pure condensed wisdom. And that's why I invited you, Dawn, today into my Peace People conversation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me, Marlene. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's dive into the question, what is peace for you? What is world harmony for you?
It's a space where there's no judgment. When there's no judgment, there's only peace and harmony. Judgment kind of gets in the way of that. But when we can rise above that, as far as our frequency and our perspective, and be in that place of pure love without judgment, that's pure peace.
So true. Yeah. So you are someone, as I already said, who radiates that non-judgmental beingness. How did you get there? What brought you there? Have you been born like this?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just the awareness that when I'm in a place where I'm trying to control somebody else, or I think I know better, or I think this is how they should do things, it causes all kinds of entanglement within me and with them. When I've just learned to allow people to have their own space, to have their own life, to live their life and honor that, acknowledge that they are their own individual on their own individual journey, that allowed the peace within me.
I will be asking you later how your life before looked like, but for now, I would rather go into knowing how a typical day of yours looks like.
Oh my gosh. I start every morning when I wake up. I don't set an alarm, I just wake up. And it's usually pretty early because I enjoy watching the sunrise. I go outside with my coffee and my cats, and we listen to meditations. We look just to sit in peace and quiet and silence and listen to nature. Um, just be, just being. And I think that's a perfect way to start my day. Just sets the tone for everything else. Yeah.
Wonderful, yes. So as the day goes by, is there like things you like to have in your day in order to keep that vibration up? Or does that morning routine like just carry you through the entire day and yeah.
Well, no, from there, I usually go into my day of meetings, Zoom meetings with various community calls, and all the people that I'm around, it just feeds me, it feeds my soul. The the community, the collaboration, the co-creation, and it just adds to it. It just builds on what I've already started.
Yeah, so you have already given away what you are like doing when you are not being in the beingness and like you are all the time, right? Even when you are in those meetings with others, you do not lose your beingness, your state of being present in the now moment. So that's something that I have witnessed, and I really
Thank you.
enjoy that because it's so inspiring to see someone be, even when they do, as we like to say, yeah, when they work, when they go about their day-to-day life that earns their living. So my next question would be, how does actually money is coming to you? How do you invite money into your life? Do you live with money?
I absolutely know that I am abundant. I absolutely know that it will be here when I need it. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to keep a keeping journal like, okay, I got this coming in and this going up. I don't even worry about it. I actually consider that my bank account is a corporate account and I am an employee of the universe.
Beautiful.
So I don't have to worry about paying anything. The money just comes in.
Oh. So how does the money come in? Are there actions that you entertain in order for the money to flow in or to invite the money in? Or how, for those who are very attached to the idea that they have to do something in order to get something, how can we like, yeah, how would you explain your way of receiving?
I let go of that idea that I had to work. I'm retired and I don't really want a job. So I just play all the time. And there are energy exchanges for playing and co-creating. And I just allow those to come in. I just allow it. I don't plan on it. I don't worry about what's coming in this month. It's not a worry. It's I let it go. And by letting it go, I can allow for abundance. I always have everything I need and more. Always. Always.
And it's so comfortable to play with you in that space. I mean, from my experience, I am someone who loves to feel into the number that comes up when I have received something that I just want to honor in some way, or just want to say thank you, or I just feel like, wow, I would love to have that happy money flow there. So yeah, it was so simple to play with you and not to like reason about that or to explain myself why I wanted to give this amount to you, or you know, it was so wonderful. And at the same time, you have on your website, I mean, we have already talked about the pyramid of light, which is that wonderful process that you facilitate for others to encounter their higher self and speak with their higher self truth. So, you have on your website the offer and you have like the price tag attached to
Mm-hmm.
the offer. Is that something that worries you at times? Like, but or how do you play with that?
Well, first, I do not accept a payment or an energy exchange before. It's after. I kind of like if you go to a fast food place, you pay for your food before. But if you go to a really nice restaurant, You pay after if it's something you enjoy. So that's how I feel about it. I don't know if that's a normal way of doing business, but I don't feel like doing things the normal way. And for the first 2 years of doing my Pyramid of Light, did not accept any type of a energy exchange. I was guided to start doing that, to put a value on it. And it's not, it's playing. It's like you go on vacation. Nobody has to go on vacation. But if you want to go and you go to like an amusement park, you choose your amount that you want to pay for your ticket. Do you want to go on all these rides? Do you want to just don't do this or do that? So that's how I put it. You just choose what you want. Nobody has to do this. It's not life or death. It's just playing. And um, people will be guided if they want to do this or if they don't want to do this. I don't need for people to do this process. I don't need money. I have it. I am so connected with the universe. It's always there. It is not a worry, not for one moment. And since I let go of that idea that I need it, that was a few years ago, but there is always money in my account. And it's like, where did that come from? And then money comes in surprising ways too. I just allow money, it's just a form of energy, to come to me however it wants to. And it's really kind of cool.
It's so, so powerful. And especially, I think there is a reason for us addressing this in this conversation. There are so many spiritual people who struggle with the energy in form of money. So
Yes.
with the idea of having to exchange things, having to earn things, having to work for things, not wanting to, and it goes in so many directions. And that's probably why this topic came up in our setting here. Is there any specific inner command that you use or that allowed you to get attached from the idea you would have to anything in order to receive money? Is there an affirmation, anything that you could share with those not yet in a place of embracing this issue?
One of the places I started was an affirmation that I learned was galore, galore. I have everything I need and more. Galore, galore. I have everything I need and more. Galore, galore. I have everything I need and more. And when you think about it, you always do. I don't think you probably could think back to a time when you didn't. I mean, I remember when I first started, I think I had like 16 cents in my account one time. I had 16 cents. I had money. I was not worried. I was not the least bit worried. Not the least.
So what I see is you focus always on the abundance, the 16
Ah,
seconds. uh, the abundance, and they show you there is something there. So when we
yes.
go into the direction of where there is abundance, abundance is nourished, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Very well said.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. So going into the areas of serving, oftentimes receiving money is connected to serving. Is that disconnected for you? Is there something that you feel when you serve, you receive more? Maybe not just more of money, but more of abundance in general? how is serving integrated in your life, or what's your perspective on serving?
I don't serve. I be. I am. I have, I just am. If somebody wants something that I offer, they'll come to me. I don't advertise. I don't solicit. I don't say, hey, I don't do any of that. It just happens. It's just natural. It's just always amazing that I'm not here to fix anybody or change anybody or save anybody. I'm here for myself. I'm here to love myself. I'm here to expand my soul. I'm here to shine my light. And I do that for myself. And if you happen to be in my area and you get a little of my light, that's perfect. But that is not a service that I offer. I just am. I know who I am. I know what I am. And that's all there is. I don't do service. It's because if I am harmonious, if I'm in joy, if I'm in peace, and if I'm in love and abundance of everything, that's going to go out. That's just normal. If, if you open the windows and the sun comes in, that's perfect. You can close the windows. You don't have to have it come in, but open the windows and get the light, or go outside and get the light. Yeah, yeah. I hope
Yeah.
that answers your question.
Oh, so very much. Yes, it is so impactful. What you just said answers another question that is there for so many of us. Like, is it more important to raise our own frequency, or is it more important to serve others to help them raise their frequency? And I think you have already, yeah, go ahead, answer that.
Well, I was just going to say, if you think you're helping somebody raise their frequency, you think there's something wrong with them. And that's judging them, and that's trying to control their journey. Everybody's on their own journey, exactly what it is. Um, there's nothing to fix, there's nothing to change. Their journey is absolutely perfect.
Is so, so deeply true and powerful. Really, that is something that we oftentimes forget. That the moment that we think we would have to do something for someone else in order to help them in whatever, we limit who they are. We say they are not enough. And that's something what happens so often with people who are close to us, that we want to help them, we see what they're struggling with. We could also say we see which experience they choose. But
Yes.
like, yeah, we already give judgment into that. And from there comes the idea that we could or should help them. And that gives them the feeling of they think I'm not good enough. They think there's something wrong with me that I would have to fix. So a very deep truth. That's
They think it and you think it, and then it becomes true. There's something wrong with them.
yes, and then the question is how to get out of there's something wrong with me because I am who I am, right? So how do I get out of this? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really something that can lead to a very uncomfortable feeling of how do I handle me being me and knowing that I am who I am? So there can't be anything wrong with me. But at the same time, getting the information and believing that because that's such someone who loves me and who wants the best for me, getting the information that there is something wrong with me. So I really love that and just want to point that out here and now. And we are perfect
Yes.
no matter what we do, no matter. in what way we benefit others or raise our frequency, even that is something that is of our free will. We don't have to. It doesn't alter our worth.
No, no, it is not. We are absolutely positively, infinitely worthy of everything. Yes.
Yes.
We don't have to do anything for that. Actually, I don't think we can. We already are.
Hmm. So, how is your perspective on the predestined life? Or let's say, some people might think when we can't do anything to add to our value, or it wouldn't matter because we are always the same infinitely worthy person, that we it would like paralyze them and give them the idea that no matter what they would be doing, it wouldn't add to anything. So the question becomes, if I can't change anything for the better, why even do anything? Or yeah, how to spend my life then? What's your take on
I think I caught everything you were wanting me to answer on that. We are we came here, we incarnated here with a desire in our heart. We have absolute free will. We don't have to go with that desire. But usually when we listen to our heart, that is going to be the most fun for us. And we have free will, but we are here also for expansion. We experience all these things. We, no matter what we experience, it expands our soul on every level. We are multi-level, multi-dimensional. Everything we do to expand our soul in this dimension expands our soul in every dimension. It doesn't matter what we do. It's not wrong. It's all expansion. There's no judgment about anything that we do except for the judgment we give ourselves. That is the only judgment.
that? Yes. So you would say it's rather about expansion, and everything, every experience we have is expanding into the more of who we are, into becoming more aware of what we are, because we are all that is, right? So
Yes, yes. Everything is potential and possibility. So whatever happens is perfect. It's not good or bad. It's like, oh, I can't believe I made that mistake. There are no mistakes. It's all perfect. It all leads to coming into your power and knowing what you want. When you're in your power and you love yourself and you know what you want, that it just leads to even more and more and more expansion.
and the power that you speak of right now is the power of love, right? The
Yes, there is no other power. The pure love is everything. It is all there is. Yes.
so the question that I want to address, because it might be an issue for some listening and watching, is there are so many things happening, people having experiences that are not in expression of pure light when we look at that or those experiences, and that seem not to be anchored in the pure love frequency. And there are people who are doing things to each other. And so, how does that fit into that picture?
It's a judgment to think that somebody is doing something wrong, or they're just on their journey. Everyone is on their journey. And some have not remembered that they're pure love. some are still struggling with that and not in that energy of pure love all the time. But that is what they chose. And I know for me, when I was not in that, everything that happened expanded me to where I am right now. Everything. There are gifts in absolutely every situation. And if we focus on what somebody else is doing and how they're doing it and judging that, that's just pulling our energy down. We can keep our energy focused here, now. There's nothing going on right here other than pure love. That's all there is. And if we're focused on that, that's what we put out around us.
So would you say that by tuning into the pure love frequency, we actually slowly and steadily change our surrounding and the experiences that we encounter in our lives?
Absolutely, we do. And I absolutely feel that's why we're here, to be in that pure love frequency and to impact all of humanity with it. Our light, our love, our energy impacts all of humanity. It's it's like a side effect of being pure love. It's not something we're trying to do. It's that ripple effect. Because we are in pure love, it does spread out.
Wonderful. Do you remember any situation in your life where you really struggled to see the gift in there?
Many, 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 many times. Um, when my son shot himself, when I was in an abusive marriage, those are the two biggest times. But oh my God, there were so many, so many, so many gifts. So many. Yeah.
I mean, those are huge ones. Yeah. So it's if you allow me, I would love to hear with the experience of your son having shot himself. How is that even possible to see a gift in there? What can you see in there? How do you experience that gift?
It wasn't apparent right away. Um, the first thing that happened is 4 o'clock in the morning. The police are pounding on my door to tell me that he had shot himself. Um, that was like a PTSD thing for me for a long time. I open the door and there's all these people on my porch: police, fire department, support, child protective services, because my granddaughter, his daughter, was with me. And it was like horror to think back about opening that door and hearing those words: your son passed away. I was able to transmute all of that PTSD by realizing when I opened the door, those people were there for me. They were actually just angels dressed in blue. They came into my home. They stayed for hours. What do you need? What questions do you have? They comforted me. They stayed with me until I had everything that I needed. They were absolutely angels in some form. They were just there for me. Another thing was a couple of days after, I think it was the very next day, my house flooded. The plumbing, it was an older home and it flooded. My floors were all ruined. I had to stay in a hotel for 3 weeks while I was getting that all ripped up and replaced. The man that came and did my tile in my floor in my house, we were talking, and he said to me, was talking about his daughter, and he said she was very ill all the time since birth. He says, I have just gotten tired of being a victim and thinking of myself as a victim in all of this. It was like he had a neon sign that said victim. It just touched me, and I thought, if I'm not a victim, who would I be? I have been a victim my entire life. I mean, that was my badge of honor. That was on the top of my resume. That was my Academy Award winning role. I was a victim of everything. And the worst things that happened, they added to my victim. And I thought, who would I even be if I wasn't a victim? That really led me to changing the way I think. Because I didn't want to do that anymore, but I didn't know any other way of being. But when you're a victim, you're just, oh, poor me. And that's all you talk about is this happened to me and this how somebody said, oh, well, this happened to me and this was worse than that. And oh, these horrible things, But each and every one of those things led me to where I am right now. They gave me an experience. They showed me the love in every situation. Even though I didn't see it at the time, I could look back and see it. I just, yeah, I am not a victim anymore. I am absolutely positively in my power. I give my power away to no one because that's how you become a victim. You give your power to somebody. Oh, they did that to me. They did that to me. They did that to me. Nope. It's radical responsibility to take your responsibility for yourself and not be a victim. It takes some practice and it takes some self-talk. But yeah, when I was able to let go of that, that's where it began, letting go of being a victim.
That is a big one. Yes. Yeah. For so many of us. And I didn't know your story. I didn't know anything about what you just shared. So it's even more surprising for me to hear that. And at the same time, it shows me how you really chose not to be a victim anymore, radical responsibility, and how you really live that. It's not that you carry that story in front of you, telling others, I am peaceful now because I am not seeing myself as a victim anymore and I had this and that story. So you do not even share that story unless asked in a sacred space as this, in order to allow every one of us to see our places where we like to go into the role of the victim. So thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah.
You're very welcome.
So do you have any connection with your son still?
Oh, yes, we are so connected. He is very much a part of my life. He is with me all of the time. So much love. And I feel him. Of course, I miss the physical of his hugs. He was 39 and he had a 15-year-old daughter. But his hugs were amazing. His smile was amazing. That I do kind of miss. But if I close my eyes, I can feel it. I really can. But I feel his love and his connection because when people transition, they are not gone. They are just at a different frequency. They are not gone. They are right here. They're probably more here than they would be if they were, because I mean, he had his own life, his job, his family, and Now he's just with me right here all the time.
Yeah, yeah. That is something that is not easy for many to allow that. It's an
Mhm.
allowing to,
It is a very much an allowing. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So death is perceived as the worst thing that can happen on earth, right? So that's why so many of us fear it. And the other part is the unknowingness. What is after that? What is when there is not the life in that physical body? So anything you would like to share about death and life and how they are intertwined?
I think death is an illusion. The body may be gone, but the life, the energy is still there. I absolutely know that. In that year that I lost, that my son transitioned, my mother and my sister also transitioned within a year. Um, I know they're still with me. I know they're with me. I know they're right here. I have no doubt whatsoever. And everyone that transitioned before that, I know they're with me. Just think about them, and they're right here. They're right here, just as real as if they were sitting on the couch next to me.
That is so liberating. I mean, for myself, I have at times when someone passed who I was very close to and who was very dear to me, I had that feeling of liberation. And it was misunderstood. It was like, are you okay? What's wrong with you? Because I was like happy. I was smiling and
Yes,
I felt like the liberation of and the it was as if that soul was expanding and I could feel them
yes,
more present than ever before. I mean,
yeah,
it's in a way self-explaining because it's not so focused into that body, right?
yes. That's very well put. Yes, they are just expanded to everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. So, what is your take on your own transitioning? Do you face any fears towards your own death or knowing that your time on earth is limited?
My time on earth is only limited if I limit it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be here for a really long time. I actually started a book about my first 500 years here. And I know that when I'm finished with this experience, I just have to let go. I just have to take a breath and release the body. I don't have to do any, I don't have to acquire a disease. I don't have to do any kind of suicide. I don't have to do anything. I just have to smile, celebrate being here, be in pure joy, and I can transition from there anytime I choose. But there's a lot to look at on this planet, and I've got a lot of things that I want to do while I'm here.
So great. Yeah. Yes. So it's again radical responsibility for being here, for the dreams you have, for what you want to experience when you're here. I mean, for once, it's not easy to get into this world, right? So, um, as they always say, souls are lining up to have this experience here. So let's enjoy that and let's experience what we really wish for. So that brings me.
Yes,
That brings me to what to experience. Like, there's so much to experience, right? What would you choose to experience from that space of beingness?
for right this moment, for in 500 years, or what? Narrow that down for me.
Yes, so right this moment is quite obvious, but we can start there.
Just peace, harmony, love, light. Actually, that's for the rest of the time I'm here. But there are adventures I want to go on. There's parts of the earth that I want to see and experience because we are in form, we are physical. I want to touch them. I want to feel them. I want to smell them. I want to taste them. I want to see beautiful waterfalls and oceans and mountains and nature and animals and everything that the earth has to offer because it's beautiful, it's huge, I still think there's places that haven't been found to look at yet.
Wow, that very well answers my question because it shows that you know where and you want to go and what you want to be doing, be experiencing. That always comes from that thrill in your heart, right? It's
Yeah.
the soul's
Yes.
desire. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, people might wonder how to connect with those inner desires or, hearts, wishes, anything you would want to.
Yes. I've recently discovered that I've had to ask my little girl what she really wanted because some of those things I packed away thinking they were fairy tales or not possible or, dreams. And I realized that there are so many things that I did that with, that I found this box that I marked fairy tales, unreal, not possible. Just gone through them, and what did I put that in there for? Why did I put that in there? And I'm still discovering things in there. But that's good. That's expansion. That's an experience of discovery. But it's going into your heart because that's where you placed your dreams and unlocking and looking. What else did I put in there? What else did I put in there? And allowing yourself to have them and realizing you're absolutely worthy of all of it, anything and everything. I mean, you're going to go on a vacation, a grand vacation, an amazing vacation. You're not going to sit in the bathroom of the hotel room the entire time.
So true.
You're going to go out and explore everything that's there on that all-inclusive vacation. Whatever there is, you're going to go explore it all. You didn't go on vacation to stay in your room. It might be a nice room, but you might want to spend some time there. But I get a feeling you're going to want to go and have some fun.
Wow, that just reminds me of that 3-year-old child with those bright, shining eyes, ready to explore the entire world, no matter whether others would say that's good or bad. It's all exciting, right? So I really love that perspective and the encouragement for everyone to really allow their hearts to open again and to see what is there, which dreams are actually stored there, waiting for me to open that space again and allow those dreams again.
I kind of equated it one time to going to a huge, huge mall. Little girl going to my little girl going to this huge mall. I'm taking her, and we just walk in. Oh, this is great. Can I have this? And it's right there. And you can have anything here. Anything. It's all yours. Even that. Even that. Can we go in that store? We can go in all of them. Even that one way down there, that big one, all of it, any of it. And the more you explore, the more you expand, the more there is. But we've limited ourselves by thinking, oh, we can only have a little bit because I only have this much money in my pocket. So how much can I get? It's all ours, all of it, all of it.
And
Everything is there for us.
yes, so that's so true, and even more true than some might think in this moment, because of course, if my the money that I have in my pocket is limited to this amount, then I can only have this and that. But that's
Yeah,
not true, right? So
definitely not true.
how do you feel that you have all of that, that it's all yours, even when you do not buy that actually in that moment?
I don't even want it right now. I have everything galore. I have everything I need and more right in this moment. I love to play in my imagination. And I can go into my imagination and have anything I want right then and there. But I don't necessarily want it in my right here, right now. But I can play in it and I can have anything I want there. And those are the dreams in my heart that maybe are coming. And I'm just expanding them as I go along. And being in that dimension of your imagination is so powerful. It really is powerful. And you realize once you allow yourself to play in your imagination, you can have anything. I mean, maybe I want a huge castle or something. I'm not really ready to move right now.
Wow, yeah.
I'll wait for that castle when I'm ready to move. And I live in Las Vegas. There's not a lot of castles right here.
No. There are no castles in Las Vegas. I didn't know. How come?
Well, I don't know. Maybe there are. Maybe I just haven't discovered them. Mm.
Maybe. So castles in the air are there, right? Because you are in that space of imagination. Is that just castles in the air? And I want to address that mm, specifically because, I mean, we talked about the pyramid of light process in our Harmony Helpers conversation. Everyone who hasn't watched that should go there and watch it after this. It's so powerful. The pyramid of light, where you connect with others in that space of imagination, or with yourself, or with parted souls. So, you play a lot with the realms of imagination. What is the worth, might someone wonder, for the manifested life, for the life in form, to play in the realms of imagination? How is that connected?
Everything started with imagination. No matter what it is, the Zoom call we're on right now started in somebody's imagination. Everything started with somebody's imagination. And it just grew from there. So possibilities are endless. And when you're imagining it, you're just bringing it into form at some point when you want it to be there. But it always starts in your imagination. Everything. You go to write something, your imagination gives you the thought, but you put your pen on the paper and you start to write. Then it comes into form with words. It's all imagination. And it's so fun. And if it kind of like the Etch a Sketch, if you did something you don't like it, turn it over and shake it. Oh, no, I changed my mind. I don't want that. No, I want something better than that. That's way too small. You can create, recreate whatever you want, whenever you want. You don't have to put it any place. It's always there. It's always there. I have my beach house and I go there. And when I go there, sometimes I just go there to enjoy it. Sometimes I go there to add more plants to my garden. Sometimes I go there to add more rooms in the house. Sometimes I go there to add to the beach fire pit. Sometimes I go there to pick up shells. Sometimes I just go there to sit on my porch swing with my cats and enjoy my coffee and hear the waves. and feel the breeze on my face. And it's all very real. I can feel the ocean breeze on my face. I can smell the ocean. I can hear the sounds of the ocean. I can feel the sand on my feet. I feel it all. And it's so real. And then I can come back to my next Zoom call.
Yes, yeah. And so the value that I see in all of that, in this staying and playing in the imagination, is that we raise our frequency in that very moment. So when we come back into the other, like the Zoom call or anything, we are so filled with that frequency of pure love and that satisfaction and this peace and fulfillment that we have experienced in our heaven on earth, in that very real imaginative space. So it's a matter of being in the reality you want to see whenever you want to be there, right? It's you can.
Yes, because it's the now moment. I had an experience of being gone for almost a month, and I was walking back into my house, and I thought, did I even go anywhere? Did I really go someplace? It was no different than going in my imagination, but I was actually, well, I had my suitcases in my hand, so I was pretty sure that I went someplace, but it was no different. It was absolutely no different than my experiences that I have when I go to my beach place. It felt just as real being on my beach place as it did going on my vacation, that I was gone for almost a month. Did I really go someplace? Because there is only this now moment. There is no time. There's no such thing as time. There is only right here, right now. So just save myself the time of going to the airport.
So true, in all the stress that might be connected with all of that. Yes. And I mean, when we look into the times when we have been the most happy, like as a child, when we were just playing and building from sand or cooking, that delicious meal from our fantasy and with herbs and what we could have found with the mud, all of that. And then delivered that meal, served that to our parents who ate that with such a pleasure in that imaginative space, right? We took some of that was what was there in the physical and wove that it was woven into the imagination, so both went hand in hand. And then when we go into the dream world, when we are sleeping and experiencing something, having a very vivid and real dream, it's nothing different to the reality up until the moment that we wake up. So
Yeah. But are we in a reality? Is this real? Is this holographic? Mm.
so true. Yes. So the more we allow ourselves to be responsible for the realities that we expand into, the
Yeah.
more we can play with that and really choose consciously which hologram we want to tune in right now.
Yes. Because it's all energy. It's all our energy. It's all how we think and feel. We're creating our reality by the thoughts we're thinking. So I can go to the beach. I can go on vacation. I can walk over, sit on my couch. I can do whatever I want to do. It's no different. It's it's no different.
Yes, so true. I feel that this is a perfect way to finalize our wonderful and so deep Peace People conversation. Is there anything you would like to share to wrap this entire experience for all of us up? And yeah, just share one last thing maybe even an exercise or a going into that space of imagination. I don't know, whatever comes up for you.
For me, it's breathing, breathing, focusing on my breath, be here now, and knowing that everything is perfect. I am the divine, you are the divine, everyone is. We're all on our own journeys, and it's all perfect. There's nothing to fix. There's just fun to be had.
Wow. Yes. Thank you. Very hands-on, very simple, and so full of joy and love and peace. Thank you so much.
Thank
So
you, Marlene.
anyone who wants to connect directly with Dawn is invited to go to your website and just yeah, connect with you directly or have a look what is there. So your website is dawnesmith.com, right?
Yes, yes,
Perfect. And
perfect.
everyone is invited to reach out. Is that so? Everyone.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone is welcome.
It was a really, truly inspiring conversation. It came from this space of imagination, and now it's here and visible. So, thank you so much. I have enjoyed that so very much, and see you soon.
Thank you, Marlene. This has been amazing.